What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Now before we get started with today's very interesting video, the road, as I'm fixing just my cat, there, wait, there we go. Anyway, sorry about that guys, I had to move my tripod, I had to adjust my tripod. Anyway, that being said, before we get started with today's video, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close. And we are now on the road to 500 subs. Who knows, maybe we might hit 500 subs by the end of the summer. Only time will tell. But as I have said in previous videos, if this channel does get to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners over at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it, on the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a piece of Exodia, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed. The possibilities are out there. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners over at Collector Store, on the hopes of potentially pull a collector's rare out of the set, much similar to what I pulled out of my Genesis Impact box that I opened up last year, which is this beautiful Beacon from the Underworld. This card as a collector's rare looks absolutely amazing, you guys. But with that being said, if you guys want to see those boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue. Maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue. Deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, because more than 85% of you guys are watching the content, but you guys haven't even subscribed. And to top it all off, we got to get more women to watch the content as well. So if you guys are watching the content, you like the content, and you want more of the content, but you guys have not subscribed as of yet, then make sure you guys do indeed subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It'll also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which in a way it kind of ties with today's video. But the question of the day is this: who would you guys like to see make their return to WWE? Let me know down in the comments below. Excuse me. And for today's video, it appears that former WWE superstar Peyton Royce, aka Cassie Lee, has actually not ruled out a possible return to WWE. I'm not so sure how I'm gonna title this video, but it appears that she's actually interested in a possible comeback. So she told Ring the Bell, which I believe is a podcast. Big shout out, no copyrights as always. That she's definitely open to a comeback, and even also pointed out the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble match, which could be a possible launching point for her second run in WWE. And funny enough, she told her old Iconics tag team partner Billy Kay, and she basically said no. She said no to the last time WWE called them up, and she actually admitted, Cassie Lee admitted that they were both still pretty hurt about being released in 2021, and that neither woman was mentally ready to make that step. But however things have changed, as Cassie revealed that she feels healed now, and that she'd love to pursue any opportunities with WWE if they do end up calling. And for those who were curious, excuse me, they actually both worked in TNA for quite some time before Cassie took some time off to become a mother, which congrats to her, by the way. She ended up returning to the ring in October of last year, and although although their time was a bit short with TNA, fans really shouldn't rule out seeing the Iconics back in WWE in some form or fashion again. Obviously, Triple H would 100% be into it, because obviously, you know, NXT, that was his baby. And speaking of NXT, think about this. Last night on NXT, we had that huge 25-man battle royal. Think of who was in there. You had stars from Monday Night Raw. You had Tyler Bate of Newcastle Republic. Excuse me. You had Dragon Lee of the LWO. You had Angel and Berto of Legado del Fantasma over, you know, from SmackDown. Apollo Crews from SmackDown. You even get this. You even also had as well Frankie Kazarian from NXT, and Kazarian, Kazarian had mentioned so many times over the years what it would be like to work with WWE, and he got his chance last night, and he was in the final 5 before being eliminated, I think, by Javon Evans, if I remember correctly, who ended up winning the whole Battle Royal itself. And get this, we even also saw an appearance from Joe Hendry. Yeah, don't get me wrong, okay? Don't get it twisted. I heard so much about the dude on social media. His song, I Believe in Joe Hendry, I think it's called, is like trending on fucking Spotify and Apple Music, which is absolutely insane. But think about this. He was the first man eliminated, and to be fair, that's kind of his fault. He was the one that was just talking shit, and that's karma for you. Don't get me wrong. He's got a lot of potential, but I think after what he said, excuse me, but after what he said, to saying that he could go onto any show at any time, maybe we might see him on Raw or SmackDown, which is possible, which is very, very possible, but we really don't know for sure. We don't know if we'll see Joe Hendry back in WWE at some point, but who knows? But honestly, going back with Cassie Lee and Jessica McKay, or Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, honestly, the idea of them coming back isn't too far off. I mean, honestly, if you look at their accomplishments, excuse me. If you look at their accomplishments in professional wrestling in general, think about this, Okay, give me 1 second, you guys. I actually gotta go on. Here we go. Think about this. You look at their time, you know, their championship accolades. Think about this. They're both former TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champions. They're both former WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, and they were ranked number 50 in the top 50 tag teams in the PWI Tag Team 50 in 2020. So that proves that they were on top of the world when they first became when they became the Women's Tag Team Champions at WrestleMania 35. But they even also won the NXT Year-End Award for Breakout of the Year in 2016. So there's a lot of potential. But think about this as well. But think about this though. Think about this. Think about their accomplishments. Separately, as singles stars. Think about this: Melbourne City Wrestling Vera and Jenny Memorial Cup, 2014. Prairie Wrestling Alliance PWA Women's Champion. Ranked number 43 of the top 50 female wrestlers in the PWI Female 50 in 2017. Obviously, I mentioned the PWI Tag Team 50, ranked number 51 in the top 150 female wrestlers in the PWI Women's 150 in 2021. Sports Illustrated ranked number 24 in the top 30 female wrestlers in 2018. World Series Wrestling, WSW Women's Champion. And then, of course, Women's Wrestling Fan Awards, Most Underrated Wrestler of the Year 2018. Think about that. And then you look at Billie Kay. You look at her accomplishments, and it's pretty much about the same, pretty much. Pro Wrestling Women's Alliance, PWWA champion twice. And then, of course, too, everything else I pretty much mentioned. Women's Tag Team Champion, most underrated wrestler. So with Cassie Lee having won more championships than Billie Kay, one could argue that we might end up seeing Peyton Royce come back to WWE as a solo act, because I know that in 2020 during the Thunderdome era, we had seen the Iconics, finally, had split up. They had to disband after their loss to the Riot Squad during that time. So it'll be interesting, because honestly, the talent that's on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, think about that. There is a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential, a lot of, excuse me, a lot of potential dream matches, which is pretty crazy. But I think looking back on their careers in WWE, I could totally see Cassie Lee making her way back, and the dream matches are just out there. I mean, Cassie Lee versus Jade Cargill, or versus Nikki Cross, who now is Sister Abigail as part of the Wyatt Six faction. Which, great to finally see that faction brewing up. Shout outs to Bray Wyatt, rest his soul. There's also Cassie Lee versus Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley, Kalani Jordan. That would be a pretty interesting one. Roxanne Perez, Jada Parker. There's a lot of talent across all three brands that Cassie Lee could end up facing in the future if she does get signed. But again, she mentions the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble match. One has to assume that by that point, she'll have already signed a new deal with WWE, and she'll be making her way back to WWE in that Royal Rumble match. Is it possible? Absolutely. Is it bound to actually happen? Only time will tell. We don't really know for sure, but think about this though. But think about this. She was in so many different interviews over the last couple of years, and she even admitted that returning to WWE was not on her bucket list after her release in 2021. But obviously, you know, as I mentioned, she said that she felt that she's feeling better. She's been healed up from her release, and now she even admits that working under Triple H wouldn't be that much of a bad idea. And honestly, I don't think it is. I don't think it would be, because Triple H, thanks to him running WWE, all three brands, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, have been red hot. Think about this. Think about what the main event of NXT Heatwave is going to be. It's going to be Javon Evans challenging Trick Williams for the NXT title. But then again, we could also end up seeing a fatal four-way with the involvement of both Shawn Spears, excuse me, and of course, what's the guy's name? All Ego Ethan Page. So it's possible. It is very possible. And also think about this: Money in the Bank coming up in a few weeks. Damian Priest defending the World Heavyweight title against the returning Seth freaking Rollins. Think about that. Rollins is getting his rematch for the world title because he got injured at WrestleMania on night one, teaming with Cody Rhodes against the Bloodline, and then of course two, losing the title to Drew McIntyre. Before McIntyre losing the title to Damian Priest via the Money in the Bank briefcase, which again is Drew's fault. He blames everyone else for what happened at WrestleMania, but that's on him. He was the one that was showing off in front of CM Punk, and yeah. So honestly, but again, WWE has been red hot ever since Triple H took over as the head of creative. It's been red hot, absolutely incredible, and I don't think it's gonna be stopping anytime soon, unless something really bad happens. Which, again, it is WWE. Anything can and probably will happen, but could we see the Iconics back in WWE? Absolutely. But who knows? Who knows what will happen? I think Cassie Lee even admitted that she was interested in talking to Triple H, but we don't really know for sure. We don't really know if she will be in talks with WWE. But only time will tell. But with that being said, that'll do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more WWE topic videos in the future, then make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.